I'm Dan Campbell, Panay Sewell, talking about the crowd at Ford Field. Welcome in, Woodward Sports Network. Brian Ermanni, Braylon Edwards, Tom Mazaway, Fletch, and Jeremy in the booth today. Like Woodward Sports, subscribe to Woodward Sports. Let's get to over 100 likes by the end of this segment, if we could. I wanted to play that, Bray, because I do. There's only one of us in this room right now that played in the NFL. I want to just how difficult it is.
Man, you played in the NFL?
I did. As a visiting player, and we saw it last night on Monday Night Football as well, to play in a building that's loud and the effect that could have on a game. And I just worry that if they lose a couple more games here, if they lose one more in a row, let alone two more, and come back 0-3 or whatever, place isn't going to be as loud. You got to get some wins to get some juice in the building, and they got to get that with Washington.
You definitely got to take that as an advantage. That's what they talk about. Playing at home usually is an advantage because the teams understand that they're loud as I don't know what. When I was in Seattle, I can't tell you how many times I saw teams jump off sides. And what that does when you jump off sides, that keeps you off schedule. Now it's 1st and 15. Now it's 2nd and 15. Now it's 2nd and 30. And it just goes back and back. Keeps you off. It changes the play calls that you call. It changes your mindset. It frustrates you. Now you get offensive linemen jumping offside. Now they're in their head. When guys are in their head, sometimes they stay in their head. One offsides might lead to 5 or 6. You know, you might drop a pass because it's loud as hell. Now you drop 2, you 3, you're in your head. So to have that type of home field advantage, to have A.J. Brown and Jalen Hurts, those guys, talk about the atmosphere that was Ford Field, but then you can't come up with the big plays. You can't use that to your advantage. Slowly but surely, that stadium starts to dwindle out. And now it doesn't matter if it's an away team or the home team. Like, it's the same for each. You don't want that playing field to ever be leveled as it relates to a home field advantage.
They were awesome on Sunday. Remember, I brought it up yesterday to you. Me and Ryan were in the store, the Lions. What's the name of that? Detroit?
Game Day Detroit.
Game Day Detroit, right there across the street from Comerica and Ford Field. It was amazing. We just watched the TV, and we couldn't take our eyes and ears off of that. That's how, if this team ever starts to win, they're a crowd just like the Seahawks crowd. They can make you change your game, man. And last night, that won the game for the Seahawks.
Yeah.
And dumb coaching by Nathaniel Hackett as well.
You led me to this next point. And Panay Sewell, I want to play it for you. You talked about how the entire city is behind them right now, unlike anything we've ever seen. I think for whether it's Hard Knocks, whether it's Dan Campbell, whatever. First, let me play the Panay Sewell, and then I'm going to ask you a question.
I love that, though. I love that. To have the city behind us, man, it just makes us go even harder. And I want it more now, and I just want to show you guys that each and every week.
Here's the question I have in response to this. Braylon, how much longer will the entire city be behind the Detroit Lions if they don't win? You've got to win some of these games. And we talked about it. You asked me about why I think that Detroit's going to beat Philadelphia, and it was pretty simple. I mean, just because you have more talent on one side doesn't mean that side is going to win the game. We saw it with the Bears. We saw it with the Giants. You know, we saw it with the Colts, Houston.
Yep.
Houston and Colts, right?
I mean, it happened a couple of times this weekend where the teams with the lesser talent won the game or tied the game. They got to win this week. How long before the fans turn against them?
It can be very soon. It can be very soon. I mean, you look at the Lions schedule right now. Shoot, they got the Commanders coming up at home. That's a game that many feel like the Lions should win. Now, the Commanders, they played in a good game. They end up winning against the Jacksonville Jaguars, not necessarily a team people thought was going to be a world beater. Got a W, but that's a team you look at. You say, hey, we put 38 on the Eagles. We should beat the Commanders at home. We think we're better than them. So if they lose that game, the Lions fans are not going to be pissed. It's okay, we gave you a pass for the Philly game because it was Philly.
Yep.
But now all of a sudden you're losing games at home that we think you can win. Then you go on the road to the Vikings. They're not going to beat the Vikings. So now you're 3 losses into the season. Now the Lions fans are like, well, all this blue Kool-Aid we were drinking, all this where we were buying off of Hard Knocks, man, don't tell me it's the SOL. Then you come home against the Seahawks. The Seahawks will be the one. The Seahawks will be the game in my mind. If they get to the Seahawks and they're 0-3, and they allow that Seahawks team, look, I get it. They beat Denver. It looked good. It was at CenturyLink. It was an emotional game for
Super
both
Bowl
sides.
for them.
It was dumb calling on Nathaniel Hackett's side. It was fumbles in the end zone. However they got it done, they won the game. But we know they're not like that. We know that they're not going to beat Denver 10 out of 10 times. If the Seahawks come to Detroit and they get a W, I think the clock starts.